Right.
Yes, people.
Welcome.
So we are heading to Forge Motorsport this morning.
Assuming we get out of all this traffic.
Assuming we get out of all this traffic. I'm sure most of you watching know who Forge Motorsport are. They are a huge player in this industry. They make some awesome parts, from induction kits, intercoolers, dump valves, loads and loads of stuff, silicone hoses, loads of stuff. And the vast majority of it, I think maybe even all of it, is made right here in the UK. And we are heading over to their factory, workshop, warehouse to meet the team, see what's going on, talk about the development, the products, how stuff's made. I find it fascinating, so hopefully all you guys do as well. So stay tuned.
What up, say? One time for the hometown, I got love for it, it's real. Yeah. 2 times for the haters, man, cause I notice how this shit feel. 3 times for my family, dog, cause this shit done paid our bills. And I get 4 times my net worth from a year ago with no deals. Did it all by myself, I don't need nothing. Dropped 100 songs, I'ma keep coming. Remember times they wouldn't reply, now they all hit me like they need something. Labels hit me, now they see something.
Forge Motorsport, and we're here with Zach and AJ, who's gonna show us around, and Luke, sorry.
How you doing, everybody?
They're going to show us around, see how we're going.
Alright, let's go.
Yeah, cool. So we'll head straight over to the machine shop, because that's kind of the main, well, that's where Forge started with everything, really.
Forge Motorsport, we established in 1996. The original engineering business was large tower engineering. It started in
It started in 83.
So 1983 in a place called?
I was on Bedlam Forge Road.
Bedlam Forge Road. So that is where Forge has come from. 1996, yeah, we established as Forge Motorsport, predominantly making dump valves and actuators for cars such as Renault 5 GT turbos, RS turbos, Cosworths.
Yeah.
And things just sort of grew and really led from there. There was only a small number of staff on there when we first started.
Yeah. So one of the first valves that we ever created, because when we started in 83, we started as Forge Engineering. But one of the lads that worked here had an RS Cosworth and wanted to produce his own valve for his own car. So he turned one up on a manual, and from there he told his mates, made a few more, and from there it just grew. And then after that, was it like just under 10-year period, I'm not good at maths, that's when it changed to Forge Motorsport, and we stopped all of the subcontract work. Because when I was younger, we used to make, so I'm 3rd generation of Forge, so it was founded by Josie and Yori Zaslowski, who are my great aunt and uncle, along with my grandparents, and then my old man is MD, and then I've been here since a baby, essentially, coming in.
So and 12 years essentially Zach's been officially
in the business.
I've been here for 13 now. The majority of employees here are long time sort of serving.
Yeah.
You know, we've got some guys that have been here.
Well, Steve, we'll show you Steve if he's here. He's the original. He was the #1 employee, and he had his 40th anniversary last week.
We're almost like one big family. Everyone pitches in and helps together. Really innovative. You know, some of the original innovations have just been passed on, and we do have other generations. So we talk about Steve, for example. His wife works here, 2 of his sons work here, and
all of his kids have done work experience here as well. There's a gaggle of them, a gaggle of specs. Yeah. So this is a machine shop. This half is kind of like the hand finishing and where everything's done manually. Every single thing that leaves here that's polished is hand done. We don't do anything in a tumbler or
in a tumbler.
Yeah.
I mean, basically, sort of what happens, right? So we get delivered some billet. That'll come in. The guys are going to cut it on this saw. That's going to be your raw material. Then it's going to have an ion created. So basically, a job number as such. Put into an appropriate place within the workplace, and then start on the machines.
Yeah.
So as Zach says, polishing area. So all of your valves or intakes, boost pipes, stuff like that, it's being polished by one guy by hand, and then QC'd ultimately, and then it'll be put upstairs to storage. But yeah, Zach will lead the way and start showing you some of the machines.
Yeah. So I imagine it starts out as a huge block and then ends up as a bunch of tiny little valves.
So I mean, a lot of the bar stuff that comes in like this will come in as one long length, and then we'll cut it down on the saw. Sometimes we'll get stuff in closer to the size, and then some of the other valves that we do, we actually started using drop forges, wasn't it? Yes, it helped reduce waste and made the cycle time quicker as well, because a lot of the valves use a similar size body. The bolt pattern's slightly different, but all of the internals and the shape is essentially the same.
So we've really started to concentrate, okay, on lean manufacturing. We used to hold lots and lots of stock. The benefits with lean manufacturing is we can chop and change our product range quite quickly. We can react to dealer orders. So as Zach shows you there, the raw billet would have come in a bar length, would have been cut on the saw. This one now has ended up on this machine. As you can see, there's a bit of
There's one on there as well.
Bit of a computer numerical control there, so it's all CNC. Started as billet, made into that part of the valve. That's a lower half of a 008. 008 was typically a valve that was developed for your 1.820 valve turbos.
Still popular, yeah.
Still really popular. You wouldn't believe how many of these we sell in the States. Unbelievable that we're still selling like thousands a year. Considering the vehicle is what, 1998, you know, just after 2000.
Is that the finish they come out the machine with, is it?
Yeah, so that's the finish out of the machine. These ones we don't actually polish, we leave them as matte finish. So we'll just send them to be clear anodized so that they don't discolor or chip or anything. But that's how it finishes up on the machine in there. And then the guys will, on that side there, you can see the studs on it and a little bit of swarf. The guys will blow it off with the airline, and then that one will be done and then put it aside. Ready for the QC, Rob? Abso-fucking-lutely.
Rob, how long have you been there, mate?
20 years.
20 years, there you go.
20 years.
He's happy as ever.
I loved every minute.
You alright, Roy? This is when we were talking about the drop forgings.
Okay.
So these are for like the, BMW Mark 5.
So this would be like typically our TAT, TBR type valve, yeah? So something that's going to be controlled by a solenoid is bolted directly to the turbo, okay? Yeah, basically, as Zach said, so it's all to do with waste. We started, as well as doing the lean manufacturing, we started to concentrate a lot on green. Drop forging is the best way to go. That can be made from recycled material. And then, of course, the waste on that is very minimal. Works really well, cuts down our run time, which means
over a year, it didn't knock down like 2 months worth of machining.
So not only good for sort of like the business and like I say our run times and manufacturing, but also good for the planet. Yeah, we're not wasting lots and lots of material. We're not using lots and lots of power, because the more you machine, the longer the machine's running, the more electric you've got to produce. Yeah, so great move really for us.
So what is this thing? What does it
do? It's aluminium as well.
Yeah, so it's
the same as the billets.
Yeah, exactly that. So it's aluminium. I mean, heats it up to a very high temperature. In theory, poured into a mould and then compressed with very heavy duty steel machinery, which then compresses it. It's a very strong part basically. So when you think of forged wheels, or I don't know, a drop forged brake, like a caliper.
Pistons.
Pistons, anything like that makes it really strong, basically.
I mean, that's why a lot of people thought we were called Forge Motorsport. They're like, oh yeah, forging. The amount of people that we get calling us for pistons, it's like, nah, sorry mate, we don't do that.
Terms of engine building,
we're only called Forge because that was the name of the street we started on. That's it. But you can see one of the TAT valves running. I don't know if you can see it through the studs or not, but it's a bit splashy.
That's been designed and drawn on SolidWorks. We've got 2 seats over the road, so 2 licenses of SolidWorks. You can see here, it's a job card when they started, and obviously then we check 1 in every 10. That's just to make sure that they're exactly to tolerance. Tolerance is very high. you know, we're working all the way down sort of thousandths of an inch, sometimes even more, maybe 30 thousandths of an inch, 40 thousandths of an inch. Not only do we now still manufacture our parts, we do offer private label, we do some subcontracting.
Yeah, so 2019 we relaunched Forge Engineering, and that was the beginning of the subcontract work again. A lot of it's for friends of us in the industry, so say it's from your automotive aftermarket, but a lot of it's MOD stuff now as well.
Yeah, so it could be aerospace, MOD, you know, anything for other automotive manufacturers as well. Pretty much, if you can think of an idea, create a design, we can offer, you know, a subcontracting service and manufacture from start to finish, including packaging, anything like that. Even if you wanted us to design something for you, you know, please check out www.forgeengineering.co.uk.
We can do fucking everything and anything. It's great.
There's a lot of machines there.
We have got a lot of machines.
Yeah,
The machine is one of my favourite parts of it because I'm one of the marketing side, so I'm creative in that way. But the fact that the guys can sit there and for one be able to design it on SolidWorks, but then have to know how a machine works to be able to, like, what angles and holes you can actually machine, drill, tap out, is a fucking whole other skill, and it's so creative. And we do a lot now with, like, not apprentices but work experience in local schools and stuff like that, because we'll bring people in and show just because it's engineering doesn't mean you have to be an engineer. There's loads in the business and it's all fucking cool. It's like Luke said, we've got people that have been here for 40 years since we started. We're just in Gloucester. Most of the guys live 20 minutes away. Excuse me, sorry, but it's just it's your day to day to you, isn't it? And you forget the what's going on, what's happening.
So essentially, again, as you can see, that would have been made out of one solid piece of billet. Yeah. This has been roughed. Okay, so it's had its like first pass just to sort of make it into its rough shape. That will then be put back onto the machine. It's going to go for a final to be, you know, thoroughly cleaned up. That one there is CT6, which would be for your A90 Supra.
Yeah.
Yeah, so B58 engine.
Yeah. That's some sort of oil filter.
That's the lid, yeah, for catch cam.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So does it go back on the same machine to be smoothed, or is
It's going to go back on the same machine. Some products don't go back on the same machine. Or for example, it may have like a second op on a lathe, one op on a mill, and then once the second op's been done, it'll go back to the third op just for surface finish. All dependent on what product it is.
Is that like a quality check thing, so it doesn't like go all the way start to finish?
It's a bit of both, yeah. Sometimes you don't want to go start to finish. Sometimes it's not possible to go start to finish, because like I said, unless you're doing it on a 5-axis, you might need different machines to do different aspects. You know, if there's a side hole, I'm going to need to use a lathe.
It is a complicated shape, that really, isn't it, to try and get all round.
It is.
That would have been done on the 5-axis.
That was done on the 5-axis.
Yeah. So the 5-axis for us was it's this big fucker here, and this was huge for us, right? So it was about 2019. So when Forge Engineering restarted, just about £250,000 investment, and we had to have the floor essentially where the yellow is dug 2 meters deep, concrete reinforced, because the vibrations it produces would have just absolutely fucked the floor. So we had to reinforce all of that, and then when we got it installed, it took probably about just under a year of us getting used to it, learning it, getting the guys doing the training on the software.
We had to put, how many tons was it in the floor?
I don't know how many tons.
Basically, so the footprint of the machine, you can see that it's been, there's a cut mark there, yeah? We were probably
the parrot.
15 foot down,
Parrot mine.
and then all rebar, and then backfill it all full of concrete, because it's just so heavy.
It is a beast.
It's a beast, yeah, it is. But you can do some really good stuff with it. I'll show you some end tanks when we go back over the road, some nice intercooler end tanks that we've made out of solid billet. That would be for RS6, C8, so yeah, pretty cool thing to look at. Yeah.
When we go over the road, we'll show you end tanks for an RS6 that made out of billet. Hey Matt, can you turn the lights on, innit? Can you turn it on? Yeah, thank you, love. Second biggest bloke at Forge, we gotta get that in.
So I assume that can take a pretty big bit of...
Yeah,
big bit of...
Do you know what the bed size is on it? Do you know what the bed size is on it? It just... yeah. But you can fit some big blocks in it. If you think the end tanks that we've done on it were...
I think you can put up to 600 kilo on there.
So there you go.
If we need to, yeah.
600 kilos.
600 kilos, yeah. You can get quite a big block of metal on there if we needed to. We just haven't got anything that big yet.
Is it really noisy then?
It's pretty noisy, isn't it?
Depending on what we're doing, some jobs are quite quiet, other jobs make a hell of a noise. The job that's going on there now is going to be steel, and that'll make quite a racket when we're doing the profiling on it.
So like, what is the back half of it?
The back half is, what is it, other tools for changing over. So the tool bit will go in and then change over, and then it'll come back out with the different changes. Yeah, it'll do it. Well, you guys program it in, don't you?
Yeah. We tell it what to do.
Yeah. So they literally write the whole program, every tool change, every stop, every movement, literally everything. And then the machine will then, once you hit go, you can then just leave it to run pretty much.
You can see it's all quite well in order.
It is.
It wasn't like this 3 years ago. Again, with the lean manufacturing, etc., we've really sort of like tried to improve, our workability and our processes to make it sort of run as smooth as possible. Traceability is a big thing as well for us now, especially when we're doing subcon stuff. We need to be able to basically trace from when it was manufactured, when it went on a machine, where the material was purchased from, all the certs, etc. And
batches.
Yeah, batches, all that. It helps warranty, as you guys know. Forge, we offer a lifetime warranty on any of our performance parts. So it's essential for us that quality is very, very high, and traceability is a must.
So are these tools all like spares, are they, or?
So these are all tools that are, I suppose you could say they're spares, yeah. So all the machines are loaded up with tools. What it is basically when a job card would come through, okay, so we would get, for the next job, we would get all of the tools ready, which then means that when the guys have finished the job on the machines, they can take all the tools out, they come out, they get their job card, they know exactly which tools to then go and put back into the machine. One of the other guys will come and then look at the tools that they've taken out, make sure they're all still serviceable, make sure they're maybe they'll change them again for the next job. It's mainly for the machine, okay, is not down for a period of time. What we don't want is to stop the machine and then spend 2-3 hours resetting. By doing it in this method, typically it can take between 10 minutes and an hour, because all your stuff is already pre-done. And that's just sort of like working as a team, really. You've got guys that are setters, you've got guys that are loaders, you've got the guys that are getting all the tools and stuff ready. So it works really well.
You've got to have that process though in place.
Yeah, you need to have that process, otherwise what we're finding, I mean, we're working on this efficiency stuff. We
filmed it, didn't we?
Yeah, we did,
We had one of the lads, we had one of the lads wear a GoPro when he was doing it, and he was walking out there, loading the machine, walking back in, walking out, picking all the bits and building it as we went. And this was with a chap called Martin, who was like, he was our Jesus in terms of efficiency, building and helping us. And the GoPro video was like 46 minutes. And then the way he likened it was, when you go to work on your car, if you just got a duffel bag full of all your tools and trying to find it each time, whereas if you got a nice kind of like snap-on set with everything in its place, get what you know you need as you go, that before you start, it took it down to like 13 minutes. So like preparing everything before, and as soon as you saw that, the guys were like, fuck me, why are we not doing this? Why were we not doing this before?
And we're seeing really, really good results as well. It's proving that the change is a positive change because we're manufacturing more. Everyone seems to be happier. Waste has gone down, and ultimately we're not having to work as hard. So it's that old saying, isn't it? It's work smarter, not harder. So again, that was a casting, yeah. You know what that is?
Yeah, it's short shifter.
Short shifter. What's it for?
Golfer.
Yeah, basically. So from a Mark 4 all the way through to a Mark 7. So we have that cast machine that's been off for finishing. We'll show you finishing or what's going off to be sent when we come back downstairs.
So they're painted, powder coated.
So actually that's electroplated.
Okay.
Luke, the electroplane's a type of finish, isn't it? It's harder wearing. Yeah. Whereas then everything else, Ali, that we do, all of the valves are anodized, so like the black finish on the side pipes and the valves. and all of the intercoolers and stuff like that powder coated. But when I was a kid, coming in here, we used to do like a splatter finish valve.
Yeah.
It was like white with like red, purple, blue.
Yeah,
green.
yeah,
It was like, it was
yeah.
cool
Really,
stuff.
really, really cool.
Yeah.
Really cool. So everything that's been machined has now come upstairs to component form. Yeah. Basically.
Like where the kits are built.
So it's all the raw components. That one there is going to be for PCV delete. Yeah. Basically, it's raw component form. Then what happens is